So, hi guys, welcome to this game of the month. In this talk, we are going to discuss about games Pokemon Red and Blue that were released for the Game Boy like 18 years ago. My name is Genaro, and welcome. um, well, first of all, welcome everyone. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. And in referencing Professor Oak, I'm going to talk a little bit about Satoshi Tajiri. He was the Pokemon creator, the one that created the concept pretty much. He was his story was really interesting because at first his parents didn't like too much that he spent too much time playing video games. He used to spend all his allowance in high school to play Space Invaders, and even he started to almost fail high school. So yeah, also his father wants him to study something like a electric technician, but he didn't want to do that. He was like kind of the rebel gamers type of kid. Afterwards, he founded Game Freak, that first started as a fanzine project. He founded Game Freak with his friend Ken Sugimori, which later he became the artist of the studio. Yeah, they start working in a magazine about games, things that they like, and afterwards they start making a new project, that an actual gaming company, and it also was called Game Freak. And during that time, they start they're starting releasing many games in different platforms. For example, Quinty, Cherry Boy. That is, I guess they will want to spell Jelly Boy, but usually the Japanese have the mistake confunding R with L. They also work on franchises from Nintendo such as Yoshi and Pulseman, that was a cult classic for the Genesis. So they have a really decent game experience to work with. However, their big game, it was just around the corner. Around 1990, around the start of the 90th decade, they started working on this project, this idea inspired by the childhood of Tahiri, that he enjoyed book collecting, and also with the Game Boy, that the link cable, the capacity to play with other players wasn't very explored back then. It was really limited to a handful of games, so they got interested around that concept, capturing monsters, maybe trading them, etc. So they start working on that, and also Miyamoto got his hands involved also. Actually, on the original games, the protagonist's default name was called Satoshi after the Pokemon creator, and his rival was called Shigeru after Shigeru Miyamoto. So yeah, it's interest trivia. And also the development of the actual games was really long, almost 6 years. The studio almost got in bankruptcy, and they have to sometimes work without salary, and even Satoshi himself has to live from his parents' money in order to keep going. So yeah, it was really hard, frustrating development cycle. But at the end, they actually did it. And the original games in Japan, they were called Pocket Monsters Green and Green, and they were released around 1996. So they're about 20 years old. And at first, although the games itself weren't very successful, because people were thinking, the Game Boy is social news, black and white. I don't want to play that. But when the games were almost complete, there is one sneaky Pokemon that they all added at the end, Mew. That this was the secret Pokemon that nobody can get. So people started talking about it, start to sparkling rumors, secret Pokemon, the truck that has Mew behind it or Mi Signo. That's crazy stuff. Like was really like this part of discussion between fans. So people like started like taking interest in the game, and also the trading and battle mechanics were really give the game a lot of ripple value. People like start to get interested into this monster collecting. So yeah, the game started to get more and more popular. Eventually became a phenomenon around Japan. So when Japan was conquered, now the West was left. So yeah, actually some interest trivia. The game has to be changed in name because they might have some issues with the franchise Monster in My Pocket. So they changed. They make like their own name called Pokemon, and I'm not really sure why they changed from green to blue, but maybe because here I think the rivalry between blue and red is more pronounced, so that's why I guess they came. They,
Well, I was just thinking America. Because in America.
Ah, yes, pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
Or France. That's France.
Well, yeah, this franchise came from just a video game to also anime, trading card games, movies, manga, and even a musical that this was really cringy, but people like went into the craze of the Pokemon fever back then. And also, although the game sparked a lot of controversy, for example, even The Simpsons referred that there was actually, in the anime, there was an episode called Electric Soldier Porygon that sent a lot of kids to the hospital for seizures because the game itself, like, the chapter itself has like a really flashing, rapid lights, and people like started like having seizures, and they have to went to the hospital. The show itself went from a hiatus like 6 months more or less, if I recall it, and also the episode was banned from the States. They didn't like actually release it. Also, some other controversies, for example, some cards feature a swastika. So, yeah, they want to avoid that. And also, the Jinx controversy that she has like dark color skin. So some people like consider it offensive. So they changed the design from a blue for a purple instead. And also, some people, I suffered that personally. They prohibited to watch the anime because they thought it was satanic. They told me that Pikachu means 100 times more powerful than God, stuff like that. So yeah.
I mean.
Yes. And also PETA even want to join in. They release a game called Pokemon Black and Blue that you have to do some battles like in a Pokemon party, and you unlock some nasty videos about animal getting tortured. So I think they want to like explode the shocking value to attract attention. I don't know, but yeah.
I was almost the programmer on that game.
Sorry?
I was almost the lead programmer on that.
You?
The producers are a company named This Is Bob. And the guy who runs it, this guy Vincent LaCava, he's vegan. So he has a real close relationship to PETA. They also did like this game where Mario plays.
And inside the Tanuki, like yes.
Stuff, but I think this is the second Pokemon game they did. But in this one, you're like an abusive trainer. And you have to rise up and beat up the trainers for abuse. But yeah, they have like videos embedded where you see like disgusting factories with animals. I don't know. Now I regret not doing it.
You could have like hidden stuff in there, and then people would eventually find it.
They didn't have a big budget on the project.
Yeah.
It's a flash game, right? Yeah, it was a flash game. But they got some controversy. Now they have.
Want to do it because it was cool.
Yeah, it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Well, they got a lot of curses. Now they just did a game called based on the Smith song "Meat Is Murder," and it was like a tie-in with like some Smith song.
Oh man, Peter.
Anyway.
Thanks, Peter.
So yeah, the Pokemon phenomenon is still going strong. With right now, it's the 20th anniversary of the franchise, so they also released this thing called Pokemon Go. That it was the second Pokemon fever in history. And there's yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, right here. Yeah, and also, as you can see, some like crazy people like chasing a Vaporeon or Dragonite, Stampede, like a lot of people were crazy chasing one Pokemon. And also they're going to release soon another batch of game, Pokemon Sun and Moon, later this year. So yeah, everyone still loves Pokemon. And even today, people such as me, for example. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar, but I just want to show you the last minutes of the battle. Yeah, it was last year on the Pokemon World Championship. I played there.
Yeah, what is the World Championship Pokemon? It's like everyone comes to battle, or?
Yeah, like there is like a tournament in the video game that you have to participate. If you score enough points, you get qualified, so you can go there. So in this battle, I have to battle a guy from Germany. So yeah, it was kind of like.
Oh, that's you over there.
Yes.
Wow. And where was this?
In Boston.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think Boston would be like the host city for the Pokemon World Championship. That's really cool, though. Oh, God.
Did they have a convention center?
Oh, yeah, they have PAX East there. They probably have this there.
Actually, it's changed the location every year. For example, this year was in San Francisco, but I couldn't afford. I got qualified too, but I couldn't afford to go, so I didn't go. Up until now, yes. Yeah, because I think at first was in Japan, but afterwards I think they switched only to the United States. I think next year is going to be in Anaheim. I forgot how to spell the name. California.
What's your Facebook picture?
Yes.
No, I understand why you.
So yeah, I was killing the poor German guy. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it.
Are the Pokemon pretty balanced, like to compete, or do people always go with the same ones?
No, it's broken. Every freaking competitive game is broken.
Do they ban Ubers though? Like I know most people ban legendaries.
Well, is the rule depending on the rules though? Because some rules allow some legendaries, some rules ban it. So yeah, depending on the format.
It seemed like they didn't, right? Like anybody.
Yes, actually, in this year format they change every year. So
That's crazy.
yes,
That makes sense.
yeah.
So let them know your rank last year.
Yeah. Well, I got 9th place in that tournament back then,
In
but
the
yeah.
world.
Yes, but
That's pretty cool.
well, yeah. Thank you.
Not the very best, but
Still,
Almost that.
picture, I'm telling you.
So, any questions or comments?
It was your trophy, man.
I got a $1,500 scholarship and some cards, I guess, and that's it.
Flip them on
I guess I'm coming to this as like someone who's not as familiar with Pokemon and who did not grow up playing Pokemon.
Mhm.
I just want to know from your perspective. Tell me what the appeal of Pokemon is that I don't see that other people.
Well, I think there are 3 factors. The first one is the collecting aspect, that there is a lot of different creatures, and I think there's something that awakens us, like the desire of completing this thing that we have. And also the strong multiplayer component that you can trade, battle with your friends. I think that gives you like something exciting to talk about. And also the transmedia component that you can play the video games, you can play the card game, you can watch the anime, you can watch the manga. So it's up to you.
Ooh, I got an answer to that too. It's a personal answer, but the thing that I really liked about Pokemon was like the quest was so like Like that, like
That was your quest.
well, no, it was your quest, and it was like, oh yeah, go and collect and catalog all the Pokemon in the world. It wasn't like, oh, go save the world, like and fight like 12 dragons and shit, or all that stuff. You were a 10-year-old kid cataloging Pokemon, and it's like, I could do this in real life. I could just go right now, just go into like the next town over, start capturing like stuff and catalog. It's like the main goal is so doable in in a real life context rather than a fantasy context. Like I'm not slaying dragons. I'm eventually you capture Pokemon God or you go into the other games. But like the first games were very like modest and very like they were modest. They didn't have like huge ambition. Sure, you like broke up a terrorist cell like that one time. Other than that, like,
You become the best dog fighter in the world.
yeah, but other than that, like the quest, like to catch them all is like a quest that isn't just like fighting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was really different in an RPG back then. But that's my take. I just want to open up the
It's
conversation.
interesting. It said it was like inspired by bug collecting. Or
Yes.
collecting.
Yes.
So that was the one of the creators, the guy that started the game.
Yeah, Satoshi Tajiri was his hobby when he was a kid.
He would collect bugs.
Yes, and also I think in Japan itself they have like this squirrel and they capture beetles and they battle each other. So
Oh, really?
yes,
Beetles
Full
battle?
game is like, oh, those are
yeah, you can watch some videos on YouTube. I saw some of them.
That's kind of cool.
Yes.
Real
Yes,
life Pokemon.
yes, pretty much.
I can't afford the game, so I had to go outside and capture bugs.
Were there other games like this, like that had kind of like zoology type of thing?
Actually, they do.
Was this
Well,
a new-
one I have just in mind, there is a game called Lufia 2, Rise of Sinestros, that for the Super NES. That it was mostly a standard Japanese RPG, but you can have the option to catch certain creatures, and you can use it in the battle. So yeah, that was like a pre-Pokemon time back then. And I think some other games. I think Dragon Quest implemented a monster
The
collecting
Dragon
thing.
Monster game?
Yes.
Yeah, they had two, but I think they came after Pokemon.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's
But-
funny, the guy that hosted the Final Fantasy VI discussion last time mentioned there was a Game Boy game that did Pokemon before Pokemon. It was like Final Fantasy Adventure or something like that. I didn't play it, but I remember we were talking about it here. So the concept has been used before, but I don't think it's been perfected. Like Pokemon.
Yes.
Yeah, like you're literally a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like you
Or
are
at
a
least the
10
monster capture.
Yeah, you're a monster capturing 10-year-old. You're still a 10-year-old,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
going like across
That's-
the country
Mhm.
capturing everything. It's kind of like I'm not saying it's not doable, but like I got to be a pretty ambitious 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like one thing about Pokemon, like it didn't really talk down to the kids playing it. Like it was very complex. Yeah, it was like a lot of complexity. I think what are there like 6 different classes? Or
You mean the types? Yeah. Well, since in the first generation there were 17 types, but afterwards they realized that one type Psychic was really broken, so they had 2 types to balance it out. And afterwards they realized that Dragon was broken, so they had a new type to counterbalance this. So yes,
So how many types are there?
right now there are 18 types.
18 types.
Yes.
Sun and Moon get new types?
Hmm?
Is Sun and Moon get new types? No.
No, it's referring, for example, fire, water, grass, ground, etc.
Yeah.
Yes.
But,
Do you think one day it'll be a religion? You know?
Maybe.
Does it
If they have a Jedi religion, maybe they will found a Pokemon religion. Who knows?
Well, no, the reason why I ask is not so much because of the God aspect, but because of the elements, because it does seem like it feels, yeah, a little bit, like it feels a little bit like, oh, there's a cosmology, and
It
there's,
feels kind of Shinto-y, to be honest.
the funniest thing is the Westboro Baptist Church having a sermon against Pokemon. They have Jigglypuff on screen. They're like, there is a devil. He wants to hurt you. Something the worst. So
Yeah, even in Mexico was way worse. I remember that there was like one prize that I was forced to go to Sunday school, and they talked like horrible things about Pokemon. And I was okay.
I remember my religion teacher tried sneaking into Pokemon Satanic at one time.
Yeah.
It went nowhere, but it was so fun.
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics, but I just remember like we weren't supposed to watch Pokemon, the anime show.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think there was a big push on a lot of the churches against anime.
Mhm.
How many people here went to elementary, middle school in which Pokemon was banned? I'm curious.
Oh, the Pokemon cards, yeah.
No, not Pokemon cards.
Yes.
Yeah, when did the cards start? At like, at what point were cards
It was
created?
definitely
Actually, yeah, it was after the games, but I think first Nintendo, or I'm not sure it was Nintendo or Game Freak, they contact Wizard of the Coast, the creators of Magic, to came up with a gaming card idea. So they made the trading card game. But afterwards, I think that the franchise was so big that they created a brand new company called the Pokemon Company that managed all the Pokemon related stuff. Yeah, it's kind of complicated because the franchise itself has ownership by the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, Creatures Inc., and Nintendo. So it's kind of like yes,
So they all kind of have,
like
but then it goes through the Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly it goes to the Pokemon Company. Yes.
Pokemon Go, there's no Nintendo licensing on it.
Yes.
It's all Pokemon Company. And
Yeah, and Niantic. Yes.
Oh yeah. Pokemon stock went up like 25%.
Yeah.
Nintendo
Yeah, but Nintendo barely has to do with the game actually.
Well, for the people that didn't know better.
Yes.
So, do you,
Wait, so they
the original creators, you kept them in the past tense, are they both still alive?
No, sorry. Yes, they are both still alive. They're around 50. Sorry.
They don't manage the games though anymore, I don't think, right?
They just like the producer. I don't know. I suppose right now the actual people that were in the game is called Masuda, and in the first generation he was the music producer, but afterwards he became the actual director of the games. And right now they just like give the game a look and they say, I like that. You can publish it or something like that. They give their thumbs up.
It's like Miyamoto and Mario. just
Yes,
like-
pretty much.
yeah,
Yes.
Just,
Don't hurt my baby.
Mario.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Mario and Sonic entered the Olympic game.
And also, another trivia, when you type Satoshi Tajiri in Google, this always shows this guy's face, but this is not Satoshi Tajiri. This is the CEO of the Pokemon Company. I just forgot his name. CEO.
That's Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, it really give me in my nerve. Tsusenaku Ishinhara. Yeah, is his name.
He was born
Really young guy, right?
He's a Pokemon. He's a Pokemon.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes.
Found
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. Wow,
Yeah.
Prodigy.
Yes.
So do the original creators of the game make money off of all of these big franchises or not?
Yes, they have to because I think you give well, I don't have like the proof or something, but I suppose they have. No, the funny thing is, I read that the creator itself is kind of like a little introvert, so he barely give public speaks, stuff like that. So yeah, usually they confund him a lot with Tsusenaku Ishihara because he doesn't give like that much public appearances.
Well, we can't all show up to the Olympics wearing a costume of our future.
Yeah.
mascot.
Oh yeah, they had Mario in the Olympics.
Oh yes.
For next.
The Prime Minister wearing the Mario hat.
Yeah, it was so surreal.
That was kind of endearing.
But the actor was like, what would you think of this? How much should have been?
Like Frozen, like the
Well, actually, that'd be slightly racist.
So I remember when I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, but Satoru Iwata.
Satoru Iwata, yes.
Yeah, who is the former Nintendo president,
Yeah.
passed away. People
Yes.
were talking about how he acted. He was one of the developers on.
Oh,
Silver.
yeah.
That guy tore the doors down in Gold and Silver. The fact that we even had the whole original first game within the second series of the games.
Yeah, he was like a pivotal part on actually locating the original games, and also I read at the end of his life, right before when he was in the bed, he still worked. He gives some advice for Pokemon Go. So yeah.
What did he say?
Try not to die, but
Yeah, I want.
make sure you go outside.
Gotta catch a roll.
Yeah, some stuff like that. I don't know.
Son.
Did he do something on Pokemon?
Yeah.
The late CEO of Nintendo?
Oh yeah.
What did he do?
He well he made it what was it like a compression algorithm.
Oh,
for
yes.
Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
Because when Pokemon Gold and Silver was about to drop, it was incomplete and it was getting close to release date. And the thing was, like, they couldn't fit any more game into the cartridge because they were on such short space. So he made a compression algorithm so that they can compress what they have, continue what they are working on, and then even port over the entirety of the first game into the second game. So you essentially got 2 games in one, all within like a really short amount of time.
Yes.
Pull that off. So it's
So
crazy.
you wrote
Yeah, I'm gonna mention that on my Iwata. Do you remember the Iwata tag that I give on the school?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a great documentary on him on gaming historian as like a
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Which is that guy's genius. Yeah.
Yes.
Did the ESCRB one thing I want to watch now? He's releasing videos like so regularly. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's really good.
And he was doing like Iwata asks before he passed away.
Yeah.
He was, interviewing other people.
But he was so behind the scenes. Like it's like unless you knew a little bit about it, you wouldn't. It's not like
Yeah, it's kind of like a little disheartening that usually people like do those amazing things, they barely get recognition. So yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like, I guess, Japanese cultural thing to be a little humble, even if you did like start a worldwide phenomenon that now transcends all media. Like, oh yeah, I did that. That's cool.
Yeah, like even Miyamoto, he's just like an employee of the company. Really, he's not like a John Carmack or a
That
Will
guy.
Wright, where they're more like diva.
Well, because
Right,
the
we got
cult's
that makes sense.
personality is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's like the culture differ from Japan to here in the States. I see.
It's very unique.
Speaking of Miyamoto, like I kind of like that parallel where the Pokemon developer, like he was referencing like as a kid, like collecting bugs.
Yes.
And Miyamoto like got all his inspiration from like playing in the woods.
Yeah, going in the cave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh my
Playing the
god.
banjo.
Oh my god, all of these Japanese developers have been encouraging us to go outside for like
Well, Pokemon Go, it kind of cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah.
Well, I still see people playing it, but they're like on the DL now. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this craze kind of finished. I can't like do this in public.
But so it's kind of crazy is like out here, like if you go to like a major park, you'll see a couple people playing.
Yeah.
And I went back to California recently, and in San Jose at least, which is like a very like technoculture city, everybody, there's like areas where there's just a lot of Pokestops in certain parks, and everybody's playing Pokemon. There's not people there not playing Pokemon.
I guarantee once they drop like the next generation of Pokemon into Pokemon Go, everyone's
Like,
jumping
strike
right back
back.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone still has that itch.
Yeah, they have like 7
It's just
charges.
you're gonna get so sick of running into Pidgey and Rattata.
Yes.
At least if it's like I don't know another common Pokemon, you'll go back into it.
It's funny, like on Facebook, like my friends out there are still posting like Pokemon Go screen caps and concepts. And like I'm here to like,
Yeah, because it's funny to see a Magikarp in a Twilight.
Yeah, at one point in our neighborhood, I went out to break before my battery died, and I look around and I literally saw like 40 people, and they're all like, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we don't interact. It's still kind
I
of
actually,
Go for it.
no, mine's stupid though.
I'm already done.
Oh. Okay. Like there's this one time where I was like in like an upstate train station, like it's 1 in the morning. There's like one street light on me. I open up Pokemon Go and there's a gas leak right in front of me. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Is Pokemon's is that Nintendo's strongest brand? Like today, is it eclipsing Mario?
Yeah, actually, time-wise, actually, Pokemon has sold in the same amount of time. Like, for example, if you put like Mario was released first, so technically it has more games, but in the same amount of time, Pokemon sold way more.
It's not their in-house franchise.
Yeah, also, it's not their, yeah.
Well, actually, I was looking at in-house franchises. It's you can kind of Mario, but it's Smash Brothers.
Is the biggest?
I'm waiting for that.
Most money making.
Who's doing the Smash Bros discussion here?
Oh.
Dibs.
I can talk about that too.
Should we do Smash Brothers 2017?
Yeah, that'd be better.
Okay. You can have a panel, like,
Oh, that's good.
We should fight in a match to see who is the host.
Oh god, dibs on house. Like,
No, we get like 5
Wait,
people,
what-
all the different
would it
opinions.
be? Would we do you or would we do like Melee? Because Melee,
Melee.
yeah,
Melee had the biggest impact.
Yeah, I agree. Or I think also the original because or in general because it's interesting the development cycle, especially during Melee. That, for example, Sakurai was really working hard for Melee, even affecting his health, for example.
Most of the story would be on
Yes.
Melee anyways. That's where like most, a lot of the stuff happens.
Mhm.
yeah. Like Melee, really, I thought that was gonna be the last match, but we're getting off topic.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
So what was like the initial birth of Pokemon? You said the company didn't almost went out of business, but they weren't paying people, and the two creators really had to kind of push for their vision. Like, was Pokemon an immediate success when it came out, or like what was the
No.
initial launch?
Well, at first in Japan it wasn't very successful because people already were thinking that the Game Boy was obsolete, so people like didn't get into the game that much.
This was on the Game Boy at the end of the Game Boy.
Yeah, it was on the end life cycle.
Super Nintendo already came out.
Yeah.
It was 1995, no, 6, sorry.
Yeah.
So yes, yes.
Handheld market though, when it's console that's gonna come out, but why would the handheld market be affected?
I guess it wouldn't be affected, but it was just so far, like 2 years after Super Nintendo came out, and like the Game Boy had been out for
Yeah, I'm
8 years.
actually also confused. How do you go from running a fanzine
Yeah.
to making a gaming company where you're basically servicing the biggest, most walled garden sort of platforms? Like how, like, paint us a
Like,
picture.
Well,
Really
like,
related
I
to
think back then it
In
was
the
a
old
simple.
days, it was like the old west. You gotta,
I think back then it's like we're making a magazine. What do you want to do now? Let's start a game development company.
Right, but how do you get your stuff on like Nintendo? Like I'm just
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because at first in Japan, I think it was way easier to actually apply for making games for the NES because I think the first game that they released was let me look it up. This game called Quinty, and I think here it's called Babycastles, something like that.
That game's awesome.
Yeah,
It's just clean.
and they start with that. And I think afterwards, they got enough support to release in-house to both Nintendo and Sega.
So how big was the company at that point? It can't just have been the two guys, right?
Actually, I'm not sure how many, but for example, during the Pokemon development cycle, 5 employees left because they were really frustrated with the development cycle.
Because 6 years. That's
Yes.
a long time.
Yeah, 6 years of not getting paid, Clay.
Well, you mentioned living with their parents, right?
Well, I read that sometimes Satoshi couldn't even sustain himself, so he has to get money from somewhere. So he asked his parents, I guess.
Not unheard of solution.
Yeah, especially now.
Yes.
Satoshi's my new role model. Chasing after your passion and starving to death, ask your parents.
But so the transition from Japan to the U.S., like how did that happen? Like, was it a concerted marketing push into the U.S. where it's like, all right, we're gonna.
Did they know it was a success
I
before
think
they
the
brought it
trading
to
card game, because it dropped here like right around the same time that the cartridge games came out.
Oh,
Was
the
on-
same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, right. Like, I think
So
they
it was a
both came right
concerted.
after.
Yes.
Yeah, the first I seen a
2
Pokemon
to 3
trading
weeks
cards.
before the game was released, just to build up
Also, they also built the hype by the anime. The anime also came really close.
But the anime was like the last wave. It was first the games, then the cards, and then the anime.
Well, I mean, when they released the game overseas on the States also.
Were you part of the generation that basically were pulled in?
Absolutely.
Yes, we.
I
I think Pokemon is the millennial game or something. Yeah.
There were like elementary school wars going on.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Pokemon.
Like every recess is just like cables and ouch.
The bastard that would take Pokemon cards and get a holographic pen and draw around it and try to flip it for money in the school grounds. Screw that guy.
Yeah.
So I could buy Pidgey shiny for like $15 or something.
Yeah,
Stupid
fuck that
stuff.
kid.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
So were the cards as big as
The cards were bigger than the game itself, although I think more people were playing. The game.
I don't know, guys, if at that time you have this stuff.
Pogs.
Yeah. Well, here in Mexico we call it tazos. And they were like crazy popular there. And even they were fights. I remember I fight with another guy too because he stole my tazo. So yeah.
I feel like we had the Pogs in like 91.
Yeah. So.
I mean, maybe I don't know if everybody, like maybe you or a couple other people were there during the generation that got sucked in, but I love the social aspect. And I have to say, Pokemon Go is great, but I don't think it has a candle to what it was when the cartridge games came out and you were a kid at that time.
Because you don't know someone directly.
Directly on the, you could talk about other games because it's like, hey, you got a Game Boy. What other games are you playing? Like you play console games, you play this, you play that.
Also being
You make
a
some
kid
friends. Being a
helps.
kid, of course, but. The rumors, the glitches,
Yes.
stories around and stuff like that.
This was like
Whether
pretty
legit or whether they're fake, because the internet wasn't prominent at
Yes.
the time, and all the bullshit stories
Yes.
that you would hear, and the ridiculous tasks that you would pull just to get what were called Poke Gods,
Yes.
and some other nonsense that people would make up. The rumors were ridiculous. I remember someone told me, now if you played the game, there's a thing called the item finder, which you have to, it's like a metal detector. And each step you make, you can use it once and it'll detect. Someone told you have to do it 100 friggin' times in a dark mountain to find an egg that will randomly appear. And if you get that egg, it's going to be Togepi in the first 2 games, red and blue. Before those games ever came out, I did it. I remember me and my friend, babysitter sitting right next to us with a big sheet of tallies. Oh, it didn't work this time? We messed up. Maybe we'll do it again. And like, over and over.
It was nothing as that new one. The new one works, so you would believe anything after that.
You'd sequence break the game so you could try and catch Mew underneath that damn truck and find out it doesn't it'll break your heart. But then you'd find that one asshole in school says, I did it. I got him. Where's your game? Oh, my mom won't let me bring it in. They had the game shop. Yeah. Oh man, but there were so many rumors that you can't improve with the game shop because they were just blatantly fake.
Yeah.
EGM, an official magazine, getting on the jump.
That you can get Yoshi, right? Or
Friggin' Yoshi,
yes.
I believe that too, for quite a while. And you know what? That also goes into a Smash story because EGM is notorious for April Fool's jokes.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people with Yoshi saying that Dragonite can evolve into a Yoshi straight between games, and you level it to a certain point. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's a mess. The worst though, was Bill's Secret Garden. If you know who Bill in the house.
Yes.
And there's an open, there's just unused area behind the house that has no effect in the game. And somebody will claim you have to go and beat the Elite Four, you have to catch all legendary birds, you have to train a Hitmonlee to level 100, and you get a maneuver that's not even in the game at all. So like you're gonna get it, and you're gonna be able to jump over the roof of the house, and over there you're gonna find Mew and all the Poke Gods, and it's gonna be like a Pokemon haven of all these Pokemon that your friends have been lying about.
Well, where else do you think this Pokemon go when they go into the PC? Like, but oh my gosh, so
Fuck GeoCity, he's an angel fire.
But speaking of like elementary school stuff, I think that the transition from the cartridge game to the cars was ingenious.
Oh yeah.
Because when teachers see kids playing their Game Boys, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna take that away." When kids see when teachers see kids just playing cards, they don't care. It's recess, like
Oh no. The teachers hated the cards more than any freaking video game.
But at first though, like it's like it's harmless, and then the fight spread.
Yeah. there was like a trading underground going on with the cards where bad things would happen, and it was like I say, Pokemon got banned in elementary school. I remember I wouldn't even be allowed to play Yu-Gi-Oh in middle school because they just knew what Pokemon was and all that. And I'm sure, I don't know, like Pogs, you say back home in Mexico, they're fighting each other over that. Yeah, Pokemon cards, much the same. Yeah.
So what's the story with the glitched out Pokemon? Is that like
yeah, Miss Signal, yes. Well, there is some maneuvers in the original games. The original games were glitchy and broken as you can imagine. There is a way to exploit the game without like using game chart or stuff like that you can get a really not important Pokemon like leftovers, because for example this has the type Beard normal, and the Beard type wasn't even a thing back then. So some people exploit that glitch in order to obtain like rare items, or even there is also a glitch that you can get Mew like legally. But I don't remember exactly the method to get it.
You can't get it without a game shark. It's difficult to
Yes.
It's like an area you go to, right, without going to something else you're expected to go first.
Yeah, it's like an overflow on the game's code.
Yes.
I don't know exactly how to explain it, but you're glitching out.
My understanding is there's an area where a Pokemon that's related to an area you basically, it references the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to this one area and it's a certain type of Pokemon, and you go to the new area, it'll be the same thing. If you skip that first area, there's literally no data there. So
that's missing now.
So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, missing also stands for missing identification, like that.
That same maneuver though would also be how you can get you or any Pokemon that you want.
I don't remember really.
Yeah. So I looked this up because I lived in San Jose for 10 years, and there's a huge kind of like convention called Anime, where everybody like dresses up. It's like a huge cosplay convention and artist thing.
Someone was missing.
Yeah. No. 1 year, I was seeing like missing no costumes like everywhere. People were just walking around as witches, and it's a huge convention in the city. So like, it's not just a rent at the convention center. Like all downtown, people are like dressed as like their favorite anime or video game character. So you're just like in coffee shops, or just you want to go to like Taco Bell or something. And there's like missing notes all over the place. So I was like, what? Finally I asked her, like, what are you? Yeah, it's like a glitch.
Was it really supposed to say follow-up when you see it?
Actually, that happened to me one time. I had missing note at my party. And I was in a Pokemon. I was in the Pokemart. And I saved the game. I turned it off. Turned it back on. I clipped into a wall. I'm in a building. I can't fly. I have no escape rope. I have Pokemon Stadium. I can't trade my Pokemon back to the game and recover anything. I had to restart because I had.
Yeah, and also if you like beat the Elite Four with Misigno, I think it's glitches your game.
That's the other thing. It's like
They were ruining the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah.
like the
Do you want to see like some creepypasta to your mind?
Oh yes, don't maybe mention creepypasta.
No, but I was gonna say, go back to the previous site you're just on. Go back to your other tab. And
this one?
look closely at missing note. If you see on the bottom left corner, you can see a pair of lips. Now go back.
Sorry. Where is it?
Trying to open your minds here. There's a pair of lips on the bottom, and on the top right center, you can see an eye. And if you go and get this image and reverse it, you get a face, and it looks like Shota from System Shock almost. It's kind of freaky.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's totally unintentional, but if you I couldn't.
I didn't know that.
When I saw it. Yeah.
Wait, did you even come up to System Shock 2 yet?
Oh yeah.
There was someone mentioned it, but nobody was up to the task.
Oh. There's so many tips I want to
Wait till next Halloween.
Yeah.
Wait until they release the fancy.
Well, they already released Bioshock Remastered. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, Ken Levine needs to make money still.
You're gonna pull up creepypasta.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there
Yeah,
is
it's
like creepypasta relating Lavender Town that it's a location in the game that's
Oh yeah.
It's like people are matching.
yeah, like it's really creepy and
That
Oh,
obviously
yeah, it's
has
supposed
I
to-
can play the music right now.
Oh yeah, there's some scenarios, there's some stories about Ash or like what this.
Well, the one thing is, much like the Porygon thing with the seizures in the TV show, Lavender Town, or so people claim, if you play the Japanese game, the music sounds different, it's at a higher pitch, and kids were claiming they would have headaches and whatnot from playing the game with headphones on. So when they ported the game over here in America, they lowered the tempo a little bit. This is a remix, but...
But like the town itself is like haunted or something, right?
Huh?
The town itself is haunted or
Yeah.
Like you literally fight ghosts in that tower. In that town.
And the whole tower is
There's a,
basically
And then you fight a
not
mountain.
just ghost Pokemon, a literal dead Pokemon.
Yeah, a literal dead Pokemon.
Yeah, but now there are like 20 or 30 ghost Pokemon, so it's not as scary anymore.
So there was like a rumor or like a.
I was reading about like some
Yeah,
video
it's
game-
more like
video
a-
game rumors, and one was like
Pokemon Black version
Yeah.
or something.
Like haunted games, stuff like that.
Wait, so what's the original Japanese version sound like? You can see it at the top
Yeah,
right.
they're on there.
Yeah, but I think it's just a myth that they change pitch.
It might.
It's not-
I don't think we're gonna
it's not
be
going
able
to-
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just the equivalent of like the ring, right? We're just gonna watch it and it's like, okay, it was kind of cool.
Oh,
We all die!
I want to show you the actual episode that gives seizures.
Electric.
Oh,
Yeah, let's watch it. Let's get seizures.
Well, to be fair, it's on a projector, so.
Yeah, so yeah, I understand, but I just want to show. Yeah, that effect. Yeah, that was the ban episode, the first ban episode ever.
I thought they just blow up
That
the whole
one?
house.
And then that one, there's the one where the guy pulled out a pistol on him.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Also, there is
I
one with
swear
the
I've seen, but like everyone claims they didn't, so I guess it was banned.
Oh no, there's that one with tentacles.
with the James.
The one where James had
James's
James
boobs.
Yes, this one.
James has boobs.
That this guy is supposed to be male, but I don't know what he has really big boobs.
It's 2016. Continue on.
It's
Yeah.
Japanese, no.
Yes.
So was there some theory about Ash? Like he's like.
In a coma.
Oh god, the
That he's in a
coma
coma.
theory.
He's in a
He's in
coma.
a coma since episode 1 because Pikachu electric shocked him, and the rest of his life was a dream.
Is that based on the? That's based on the anime.
Oh yeah, there's a scene in the anime where Pikachu is like not obeying him, and he shocks him, he passes out, wakes back up. But the creepypasta story is that he never did wake
Never
up.
woke up.
Yes.
But you could do that with any TV show, honestly. Shoehorn it anywhere. Yeah.
So that is the Pokemon.
Yeah.
That cartoon.
It's still going on.
So what's
Have
the-
you
Yeah.
seen the new ones? The new episodes?
They changed the art
the
style.
voices. And they changed the voices to like the Jessie. It sounds like the new voice actress is trying to do an imitation of the old Jessie. They changed the characters just like Ash. It's not the same Ash. It's not. Anyone did the same as Pikachu. It's the same voice. But the other characters, it sounds like they're imitating the original characters.
Well, yeah, but like the original voice actors have been doing this for the better part of 20 years.
Yes.
And maybe Bravest.
I really hate anime, to be honest. I don't watch it at all. Except when I was a kid, but now.
Oh no.
Even when I was a kid, I was always
I think they were all asking for more money.
Yes, it's really frustrating me.
Yeah, and Aaron, you have real strong feelings on the Pokemon anime series. You feel like you don't like it.
No, not at all. I think the problem is they.
Dude, there's fights though in there that are like anime tears. How they're great.
No, the new
What's,
one.
did you see this new fight where like Ash had a Greninja and he
Oh
was
yeah.
that shit's awesome.
Wait,
man.
We can YouTube it
It's
right
so,
now.
like, yeah, type in like,
Just
what's
badass
the black and
Greninja
white
fight.
anime?
Yeah, I saw some clips. It looks impressive, I have to admit.
Which is the Pokemon that's in Smash, that's the ninja.
Oh.
Ninja.
Yeah, you mean that scene, right?
That one, yeah, that Pokemon, but not this fight.
Yes.
I didn't see this.
Or
Oh,
this?
no, on the
it's
right,
that
this-
one.
this
Yeah,
one?
that one. Okay,
Just like skip around and just see how
yeah,
bad
Pikachu
this
just fucking.
is. Like, he fuses with his Pokemon or some shit. I don't know.
Let's just walk. Let's just. let's just watch it.
Alright, I'm down.
Yeah, I have to admit, it looks impressive, but I prefer if they change the protagonist because I'm tired to see Nash, to be honest.
I don't mind.
He's not a good everyman.
Yeah, nah. Well, Ash is kind of meant to be like that fucking like
He's
Bella in
sensitive.
Twilight, you know, just like a self-insert character.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, Jesus Christ, like.
But
This,
like, if you recall, like when you used to see on TV, this is just like,
yeah,
why didn't we have this then? Like, what?
like this is like, you know, these animators grew up with like some. Oh God. Thanks, anime. Thank you for having us.
It's very emotional.
But
Wait. That's
I want to show you the new design for the Sun and Moon. So see the whole difference.
I don't mind.
It's horrible. I was really shocked when I saw this, even though I don't like the anime.
I haven't watched it yet.
Fucking Rowlet. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I should have worn my Rowlet shirt. That would have been great. Wait, no, I have a job and I have to like have a professional look. Damn it. I just want to wear that Rowlet shirt.
You can always wear shirts underneath the shirt.
Yeah, but
You know, but this is where the Coma story is supported. He's never aged.
Yeah. He looks younger in each season. It's really creepy, to be honest.
Oh man.
So what's the competitive Pokemon scene like? How
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of curious too.
Well, if I talk about it, I guess it's going to take me another hour or 3 hours to actually explain it.
How stressful? How many times do you have to rebuild your team though?
Actually, in that tournament, I just built rebuilding once. In the day of the tournament, I changed a couple of moves, but I was working on the team for a real long time.
So keeping up with the fighting game community, and you see like a new iteration of the game come out. Let's say Sun and Moon's coming out.
Yes.
How do you keep up? How do you, if you want to stay competitive with people, you keep up with all the new additions? Like let's say like I don't know, like some really new powerful Pokemon everyone's gonna start using or something.
Yeah. Usually.
That game in and out, I figure, right?
Yeah, usually the thing that they do every year, they change the rules. For example, last year you can use a certain amount of Pokemon. You cannot use the box legendaries such as, I don't know, Mewtwo or Ho-Ho or Lugia. But in this format this year, they allow them. So yeah, it's changed everything. Right now it's everything. Prima Kyogre, Rayquaza, Xerneas. Oh my god, that's so broken.
I never got competitive in Pokemon, but I remember hearing friends saying when Black and White came out, like the whole thing changed.
Yes.
Everyone, like all the new Pokemon, like wrecked house over all the old Pokemon.
Yeah. Also, there is something called power creep that is really a big issue in Pokemon. That they release at first the Pokemon from the first generation, but as they progress through releasing new versions, the older Pokemon gets obsolete. And I think that's an issue that not only happens with Pokemon, other games such as Yu-Gi-Oh! They release the first cards, but after like there's some pendulum cards and crap like that, and I get what? And they're like so really overpowered and more specialized than the older ones, so the older ones get
I
obsolete.
feel like that's where people may drop out of the series when they start seeing like things in which they're familiar with no longer being.
Yeah, that's also an issue with the fandom in general. Like there is like the Gen 1ers that they only play the first generation and they like really reject the newer ones.
Fucking Rowlet. Come on, it's an owl that like is adorable. Yeah, that's
The new, yes. I want to show you.
It's sort of like a general trend in a lot of games. Like,
Yes.
I was playing World of Warcraft. Like every new edition, basically break the economy.
Look at this thing. How can you say no to this Pokemon? Okay, I'll say no to that Pokemon.
This new macho like red Pokemon, it's something like that, and it has a bee's head. Did you
Oh yes,
nonsensical, not Pokemon?
yeah, this Ultra Beast, but
Yeah, Ultra Beast number 3.
expansion,
Like,
I think it's
what?
called. Yeah, this
Where is
thing.
it?
That's the
Just
expansion.
type Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean this thing. What is going to
I
show?
think this is
Oh, is
the
it?
closest
Ah, this
thing
one.
Pokemon has
That
ever gotten to like
crazy
Pokemon.
motherfucker.
It's pretty
It's
rare.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
No, it's just a Digimon.
Like
that's
Digimon,
all.
yeah.
I'm so Just a Digimon.
Yeah, I think I like that because it's like there is a wide variety of creatures that you can choose. For example, I don't know, this one is my favorite or the older ones are my favorite, so it's like more variety. I think it's always good in a game. Even though there are some issues like power creep or that you have to keep up with all the crap that they keep releasing, so yeah. But in the end, I like that, to be honest.
I like
I
how
don't
they
mind.
change it up every series too, because like you go to a new region and it's based on a whole different region of the actual world.
Mhm.
Like now we're going to tropical islands. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, that is based on Hawaii, the newer.
anime series.
I kind of like I kind of just like their take on Manhattan.
I love that.
Oh yeah, there is a game called in the 5th generation, Black and White, that is based on New York, actually.
Yeah.
There are some controversial things that they have in there, but
Like
it's
wasn't
real.
there like
That-
a
they got-
giant tree in the
There-
middle of like that
there
particular
is.
region?
Like this game got real.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it was the first game that was based in a region not from Japan, actually.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
they- yeah, there's ground,
my
like
God.
I think Ground Zero is in the game.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah, not.
yeah. That's kind of why I disagreed with it. Just a little.
And like some Pokemon are construction workers.
Oh no. Some Pokemon are literal bags of trash.
There's a trash bag Pokemon.
Well, to be fair, that's the same generation as the ice cream
That's
Pokemon.
okay. Oh, that's wow.
Yeah, no, that's
But then they
That's
just
what's that Baron territory is the Ground Zero?
That's
Oh no,
Yes.
their territory is Midtown.
Oh, that's just-
Well, that one's stretch of life. I'll give it that.
Yeah. But no, like each and every region they tried their best to stay true.
Yes.
Johto with being, both regions of Japan.
Mhm.
The more X and Y with France, I don't remember that name.
Kalos.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure where Sun and Moon is taking place.
In Alola. Alola is based on Hawaii.
Where exactly is that? What islands
Yeah, Alola region.
based on?
Like in
Hawaii, I think, but I'm not
Maybe
sure.
Hawaii and,
Yes. Let me.
So yeah, I like how they take that realistic take on it.
I did like Pokemon France.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really felt like a Japanese town.
Yeah, for example, Johto has a lot of Japanese influence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for example.
Well, I think Kanto. I don't recall. Like they'll tell you which regions of Japan they are.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they have friends.
Right.
It's a funny thing though, because right now Masuda, that is the director of the games, he likes to travel a lot. For example, he went to New York, and they made a region based on New York. He went to France, they made a game around France. I guess if he travels, I don't know, to Mexico, they will create a. Yeah.
I like Pokemon Mexico.
Yeah, me too. Also, there is a luchador Pokemon.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I like it.
Wait. No. Look up Halucha Rants on YouTube.
Who?
It's the Halucha Rant.
Guy impersonating Pokemon.
No. It's a rant on how fucking badass this Pokemon is.
This is how Lucha rant? You mean?
Yeah. YouTube it.
Okay.
They just go to videos. There you go.
This
Wait, no,
one?
not that one. You know what? I'll find it on my phone. You guys keep going.
So,
So I have a trivia question for you.
Mhm.
So today is September 28th.
mhm.
What is significant about that day?
Something released.
Oh, there is, yes. It was released, the international release of Red and Blue.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Today.
Today.
Yes.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, actually, it's exactly the week has been 18 years since so
18
released
years.
yeah in America.
So it does seem like the success of Pokemon Go really was like you have this like watershed of people that had played Pokemon
Yes,
all those years ago, and then
they come back.
Nintendo stopped making games. Well,
No, they still continue making
yes,
games.
and everyone's got these iPhones in their pocket. And
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I think the
everyone-
issue right now with the Pokemon games is right now they're released on like Nintendo platforms, so the user base is a lot smaller comparing to like the smartphones that everyone has one. But still, I don't know. I like Pokemon Go, but I still prefer the older games, the mainline games, because they are like have more deep mechanics, and it's more like it feels like an actual adventure. So yeah.
So since Pokemon came out when I was in college, I missed the whole elementary school things. But with kind of what you guys are talking about with Pokemon Go, it felt like a real kind of social.
Yes.
Short-lived, but
Yeah.
it's there. And it's genius in which it was the right time to do it
Mhm.
because that generation is prime and ready to buy into this stuff. And you notice that, I don't know, maybe other people have noticed, but we're getting like a lot of nostalgia franchises being revived in this day and age.
Mhm.
I feel like they're trying to market on the 80s and 90s generation nowadays. Like, you're getting reboots of everything.
Yes.
Reiterations and so much stuff.
Man. Come
Huh?
Who?
It's just
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
I put out to see that. I didn't grow up with MacGyver, so I'm curious to see how it is.
Lost you, so I'm scared.
Oh, no.
Fuck it up.
Power Rangers might be butchered. I'm scared to see how that works. You know what else I also love? The challenges that people make for themselves.
Oh yes,
Like,
this talks about nuzlockes
challenges
and
are
runs and speed runs.
That is a great way to to get yourself reinvested
Yes.
into the game.
One of my favorites that I heard a lot is Nuzlocke, that there is a way to play this game like in a hard mode. Basically, this guy like started making like web comments about making a self-imposed challenge while playing Pokemon. The rule is the first rule: if a Pokemon is faint in the game, you release it.
Dead.
Yeah, it's dead, so you cannot use it anymore. And when you get into a new route, you can only cast the first Pokemon you encounter. And if you miss it, you don't get any other chance until you find another new route. So basically, I think that are the, and also you have to nickname your Pokemon, so you get the stronger bond with them. Yes.
So when it dies, it means something.
Yeah, I don't know. I die. Grati died. Stuff like that.
You die for real.
Yeah, this is the first. Yeah. Okay, let's make this run of Ruby more interesting. Release a Pokemon with face, have to catch all the first Pokemon in each area and nothing else. And yeah, he catches his Pokemon. And he gets two moves that don't do damage. They do damage, but until the third turn, so it's kind of crap. Oh god damn it, he like really crappy Pokemon he gets. But he started like getting really happy with his Zigzagoon because he's kind of good. And afterwards, where's the next one?
That's the thing about it. It encourages you to use Pokemon, which you never would.
Yes.
You're not going to be using those overpowered,
Another piece of shit ruins the party.
garbage.
Yeah, but he'll ball, so he starts to get attached to it. And also use potion, sting, he gets potion. And in the game, when a Pokemon gets potion, every time you move, your Pokemon get damaged. So he has to run to the Pokemon Center to heal his Pokemon. No, I won't lose you. We're gonna make it. Oh, he was there, and he faints. So,
It's like permadeath.
yes,
Yeah.
very much, exactly.
So I remember with Pokemon Go, people were talking about how it breaks some of the regular Pokemon norms. So besides the you die in the game, you die in real life, I remember somebody said it's the first Pokemon game where you can actually ride a bike in your course.
Anything else?
I have another question about competitive playing with a story attached, which is that I was a little old for it too, though not in college. I was in 8th grade when it came out, and that didn't stop me from playing it or my nerd friends.
Good man.
And I remember in the very end of 1998 or sometime in 1999, there was this officially Nintendo sanctioned event that was traveling around. That was a sort of localized tournament travel. And it was the first time I heard about it. It was an official tournament. And I went to it. And, I played a couple of kids who were way younger than me, and I totally smoked them. And I feel bad about it.
Was that the one where you're giving out the mute card as a prize or something?
That may have been it,
yeah.
But what bothered me about it was that after the 2 rounds, then they decided everything but the last one by a lottery system. So it was a bullshit tournament. It wasn't real at all. And I was wondering if you could tell me when actual tournaments started, because I just dismissed it after.
Well, I think the first world tournament I guess is in 2011. I think. Well, the name of the tournaments Pokemon World Championships.
So nationals must have
Yes.
been on for a while.
So, for example, right now, for example, the last year that the tournament I went was in Boston. This year was in San Francisco, and I think the next year is going to be in California. I don't know how to spell it. Anaheim and Anaheim. Yes, that's it. Yes.
You don't know how to spell it, it's probably
Yeah, right next to LA.
How about the story of the guy that brought a gun to a Pokemon championship? You
Oh,
heard about that?
yes, and
Okay, so I'm telling you, Pokemon gets real.
yes.
School grounds.
But no, actually he didn't bring them. He was planning to do so, but the police stopped him before. Because I was there, I was in the tournament, so
Whoa, you're gonna know.
yes.
Trying to do scare the opponents, or what was his intention?
Go! Gun!
So I'm curious about. So you came in 9th in the world last year.
Yeah.
How did you get to that level? Were you competing internationally for
Actually,
several years?
actually, it's because before Boston, the tournaments were only in the United States, Europe, and Japan. But in last year, they started to let Latin America participate. So in that format, they allow the first 16 players for Latin America to get their invitation. The first 2 at the top, they're going to get the travel award, so they're going to get paid to go there. However, I got top 12, I think, so I didn't get the award for the travel. However, because I have family here and I was planning to came here anyways, and Boston is 4 hours away from New York, so it presented me the chance to go. Because, for example, it was the other, San Francisco this year, I don't think I will be able to go.
But did you play competitively before last year?
Yes, I started play competitively since 2009, I think. But in that time, we play more fan rules, because at that time Nintendo the Pokemon Company didn't officialize the tournaments in Latin America, so we just play for fun. So right now, I think after this tournament, the last year's tournament, the scene got really big. Right now there's a big leagues playing not only in Latin America, and all over the world. So
can you clarify? So you were 9 in the world, but how many people from the U.S. were better than you?
no one. Last year, no one.
I
But
know the answer to that, but I wanted to.
yeah, yeah, but.
So you're America's champion.
No, I was, because right now this This year, this champion actually was from America. It's kind of famous, Wolf Lake.
But you know what's weird? So
This is the current winner.
That's
Yeah.
not your own.
Yes.
So is that your rival?
Yeah, maybe I will face him next year. Who knows? But
The Wolf of Wall Street.
yes.
But so the tournaments happen in the US, but there's actually not, like, the champions, the best players are not always from the US.
Yes. The last year, for example, was from Japan. Before that, it was from Italy. And I think it was from Korea. Sorry. And then it was from Italy, and before that was 3 times a guy called, I forgot his name. Oh, fudge. I forgot his name. Whatever. There is one American kid that got 3 times in a row championship, so it was really impressive back then. So
Wait, so I think I recall, wasn't there like this one world championship like match where like someone won with a Pachirisu and it's just like a
yes, it was the Korean one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Pachirisu.
Why is this?
because it's a really people thought it was a crappy Pokemon. Yeah, but actually he's pretty badass. Yeah, they have pictures.
There's a video. Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, he could, the way that he trained it, he can take like really powerful attacks for Dragon or really strong Pokemon, and he just has a special move that redirects the attacks to him. So the other Pokemon in his teammate can focus to eliminate the other Pokemon. So yeah, it was a really successful strategy.
Oh, this is in doubles?
Yes, doubles. Yeah, the official rules are doubles matches.
Oh, all?
Yes, all of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think they do that because the time play is way faster. The matches are faster, so it's more friendly tournament-wise.
It's a little more complex just as you're dealing.
Well, with 2 Pokemon at once. But also, there is another type of tournament
Why is
called...
he eating a cookie while you're
there is an item called Citrus Berry that when he gets damaged, he restores some of his health.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's a hold item, right?
Yeah,
Hmm?
he's
It's
just
a hold item, right? You hold it? Or
No, yes, it's a whole line. Yes, exactly. It's a berry, actually.
Okay.
I just love this comic.
And there is also a guy that it's called Sporini, but
Google wasn't looking out for you that day.
yeah, this guy from Italy that won with a Pokemon that sleep all the team. There is an attack that always sleeps, and he keeps sleeping all the competition. So yeah, it was. They call it Sporini instead of.
There's some really good stories.
Competitive. Yes.
So what's the grand prize there for?
Oh yeah.
I think it's 10,000 K, but no, yes, 10K. But I think they're going to increase the prices next year. Right now, I don't follow the competitive scene anymore because I have a lot of stuff to do.
To be fair, you're the best in America for like a year. Like, not many people can say that.
And you make games now, so.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe I could make my own Pokemon game with Blackjack and how is the Futurama reference? Was I forgot? Yeah, that one. My own Pokemon.
I played that Pokemon game. Pokemon Blackjack
So you're not gonna go to Anaheim?
Hmm?
You're not gonna go to
No,
Anaheim?
I already got
Maybe, who knows?
that this year,
Well,
right?
no, there's like, I think it's a lot more fun.
I think it depends in the next games. If the meta game is interesting, maybe I will join in. But
I think it's interesting just to be able to watch like a competitive scene Pokemon battle and actually know what's going on.
yes,
That's like the same thing with like watching a League of Legends game.
yeah. So when I watch that, like, what the fuck are they doing? They are doing because I don't understand. But with Pokemon, I get it. But I get it. That's something.
Oh god. Yeah.
So what's the future now for Pokemon? Pokemon Go was a huge hit.
They just gotta keep that ball rolling though.
Some more.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Right now, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. But if I were the CEO, I would like continue releasing new stuff in the game. I don't know the next generation because right now I am almost done with my Pokédex list.
Console main entry for Pokemon.
Yeah.
When is that gonna happen?
Actually, there is quite a number of reasons because right now, for example, the Wii U it's almost dying, so I don't think it will be wise.
X is gonna
Maybe.
be the portable console.
Maybe, but actually, I would prefer that they have like more contact with the main games and Pokemon Go because I think it could be the level entry to newcomers to try the games, the actual games. I think they should focus on that. But
Just like how the trading card games.
Yeah,
essentially
Yes,
the
yes.
games itself.
exactly,
They should.
yes.
do you think there were a lot of new people that came into the Pokemon world with Go?
They could do that if they know how to market that. Because, for example, I think it would be a smart move because Sun and Moon are coming soon. Maybe they could release the new Pokemon for Pokemon Go, and I think it will be a huge marketing ploy. So
It just needed to not be so glitchy.
yeah,
Well, okay, but the thing with Pokemon Go is they were on a tight release schedule because if you release a game like Pokemon Go in the fall or the winter, you're not going to get any.
yes, that's the issue. But still, I think we'll keep the hype going.
Yeah. It was the biggest AR game ever.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
but
yes.
I just don't think like if it weren't nice outside, then like.
Oh, right.
Well, it also depends on the region, though.
Summer now the cartridge indoor games.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah. It's all been really well planned.
Yeah, do it, man.
They didn't rush a glitchy game. They
It's been 20
simply,
years.
they simply bided their time.
Do you think Nintendo's like how do you think Nintendo feels about Pokemon Go? Because it's created in the States, like it's got a lot of ties to Google. It may ultimately change their business strategy a lot. Do you think they're happy for the success? Do you think they're kind of a little bitter that they would have to change their strategy?
I think they're glad that it wasn't them that took the jump. They had someone else do it for them because they've been wanting to get into the mobile market for a little bit. They've been dabbling with it. Now Pokemon Go. Now we got the Mario run, and they're planning on a lot more games.
Yeah, because I guess 3 months later, at the Apple thing a few weeks ago, like they announced that Nintendo would start making
They're
iOS
jumping
games.
on the coattails. They're just let Pokemon Go take the chance, and then they'll jump on the coattails with their own franchises. It seems.
Well, I don't know. I still feel like a little sad that Nintendo's like because I understand that in a marketing marketing standpoint, it's a wise move to do. But in my fanboyish thinking, I think that Nintendo going to iOS to the phones.
Nintendo has so much revenue they could survive another like 2 more consoles. Like they're just playing it smart.
No, like seriously, it's the consoles that are killing them, and that's why they're trying to like.
Yes,
move towards
I don't think they have much options now because.
I think this might be the game that kills Nintendo's hardware.
Yeah, maybe.
Eventually move out of it.
Yeah.
They turn it like Sega. I mean,
Yeah.
Sega and Nintendo are not the same company, but they do have a lot of similarities.
Mm-hmm.
We see like they go in the same direction.
I don't know. I can't imagine like the future without a Nintendo
And
console.
you hear how
though.
every new console that's coming out, they're like always using their big big tagline as it's blurring the lines between PC and console. It's like every one of them wants to get into just one piece of hardware, leave it at that, upgrade. I have a feeling like consoles have become either
obsolete. Yeah, right now in comparison from the last generation,
it's gonna be your phone.
the sales are really weak. For example, you compare the original Nintendo DS to the current 3DS, the sales.
Microsoft's new game plan is the multi-buying thing, where like you buy a game for the console and you have it available on PC. So I think they're really trying to wean people off consoles going onto PC. So everyone's bailing out of the console market. Trying to
Sony was talking
Not
about
Sony.
also like not really doing generations anymore, but like
that's why they want the Neo to be modular. Or, I don't know if it's to be modular, but they're trying to do something like that, where it'll just be ongoing.
Like, if we're talking about the console wars, like, back then, like, the whole thing about the console wars was, like, escalating, like, graphics fidelity, basically. And now you don't really have that, like, marker of what makes the better console. anymore. So, like, having
whatever I see, like.
Yeah, the graphics has gotten into a really detailed point that I don't see the difference anymore.
Well, they're saying that like Moore's law is almost like completely outdated now.
Yes.
We're almost at a peak of like
Hey, we just did quantum computers.
What is that going to be?
Yeah, but still, part of me like kind of worries because the technology is going so fast that we don't have like. It sounds like I all crude, but anyways, I feel that sometimes the technology goes so fast that we don't like really takes advantage of the current one. And for example, I like a Nintendo console because even though they were in inferior hardware, they like really take advantage of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they always have a creative idea
Yes.
of how to utilize underpowered hardware.
Yes.
To make it, you know, marketable.
They're also very stubborn though.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
We're gonna do it our way. We don't want to hear from like.
Yeah, so there is something that Nintendo should change. I agree. Yeah, but I think mainly it's because it's a Japanese company and they value more tradition and the like the I forgot the word, like the knowledge of older people or people that have a real experience. There are no like here that they're like we like to break the norm. We want to release new stuff. Yeah, stuff like that.
It's like, do we think Japanese game design is in decline? Like, that it is,
Come on,
it's
they still have Hideo Kojima. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think it depends on the developer itself.
like pastas.
Like, well,
I mean, you got South Korea, you got China, like producing a lot of innovation.
well, the landscape's just changed drastically.
Yes.
Game development tools in general have been so much more accessible.
It's really democratized. Like,
Yeah. I mean, fuck, there's a Shovel Knight amiibo. Like, a Shovel Knight fucking amiibo. Like, so the lines between, like, the indie scene and kind of, like, the more traditional, like,
AAA scene.
are kind of getting blurred.
And it does seem the tools are driven from the US, like Japan and just in general, I think.
Oh yeah, they're using a lot of US tools. Like everything's Unreal Engine or everything is running on like
Or Unity.
But think about the tools.
Unity.
something.
Pokemon Go, that's
The tools
Yes.
also contain the philosophy of the creators of the tools, so it does water
Ah,
down sort of the end result.
I never thought of it that way, actually.
Well, code, very
Yeah.
American.
Or-
right?
Yeah.
for the American
Yeah,
market, which
exactly.
we sell on these things too.
I mean, a Japanese game developer watched Twin Peaks and said, I'm going to make a video game out of this.
Though, you know what? Twin Peaks weirdly does feel a little Japanese because it does have this very stylized
Yeah.
kind of aesthetic. It feels very like Japanese jazz. Like it's a very specific
So, kind of on that note, do you want to do like a closing statement and then you can do like a promo for 10 minutes or whatever?
Okay.
3 minutes.
Well,
Yeah, I won't take you time, I promise.
okay. Well, I don't know what to add else to that, but I want to say that thank you so much for being here, and also hopefully we can still keep the conversation going. Goda Kachemo?
So is Pokemon the greatest franchise in the world right now?
That's cool.
I think. Thank you.
I don't know, Disney's kind of been there for a very long time.
It's true.
Swing around?
There's no,
Maybe if
real quick.
they know how to handle the franchise.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Pokemon will become like a dystopia, like future, that the Pokemon will be real.
Oh, that's kind of
When
scary.
you follow around,
Yeah, no, it's not that. I'm gonna go to Google Drive first.
Naturalistic Pokemon?
Yeah, I feel like having real Pokemon is just like having the Purge 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
genetically altered animals.
Yeah, it's like the island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh my god. Kill me.
Well, I'll say I hope for one that consoles do not die, because if they did, we wouldn't get great gems like we're about to preview to you for the next Babycastles Game of the Month.
Yeah, once I can find it.
Once you can find it.
Where's Google Slides
So
again?
why don't you introduce yourself?
Well,
My name is Brendan, and I'm going to be co-hosting with my friend Andrew here. And I have no background in video games. I'm just a big fan, as I believe you are, right?
I've written a few things. I once had the immense great opportunity to write for Kotaku once. That way back when they didn't suck. And when they weren't bought out by Hulk Hogan.
Hey, yeah.
Also, they got bought by Univision, Hispanic network.
What was that, sorry?
They got
Oh,
bought by
Telemundo, right? Didn't Telemundo buy it?
Telemundo owns Kotaku now? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be demonstrating next month Deadly Premonition, which is a really low-budgeted yet highly priced video game that released back in, like, what was it, 09, 08? We just made this PowerPoint like 2 days ago. It's like really quick. But so yeah, it's a survival horror game much akin to like Silent Hill meets Twin Peaks, but with a really hokey B-rated movie like dialogue and script. So this is the trailer right here, and you can get it very cheap on many platforms. 2010, I was close. Yeah, it's available on many platforms, PC, PS3 and Xbox, and I believe Xbox and PC are on sale right now for dirt cheap. So yeah, very much Twin Peaks inspired. Oh, I'm sorry. The characters are very strange in style, and the facial expressions are ridiculous. Just the game alone, when it's not even trying to be funny, will make you laugh. Of course, this is appropriate for October, Halloween. Also a game in which you're able to shave, and you get on a leaderboard for how many times in which you shave. Change your clothes. He very much admires his coffee.
Like someone from Twin Peaks?
Yeah. So, yeah, when we do this discussion, we may have some minor spoilers on Twin Peaks, just as fair warning. Of course, the video game itself. But I don't imagine we're going to have to do much of that. How do I get out of full screen on YouTube?
Shake.
Thank you. And next slide being...
You were saying it's almost copyright infringement?
Oh, borderline. How do you change slides in here?
Try the arrow keys.
Yeah, I'm trying, but...
I mean, you could close that. Your slides are in the other tab.
Yeah, he knows. You know.
Okay.
But I have just one photo to show before we wrap it up. Just as a... Yeah, trust me, we'll be a lot more prepared next time. Here's what IGN has to say about the game.
Yes, I love that.
So this is the Imagine Party Baby scale. You can take a lot of video games in which you may cherish and appreciate for being underrated, and IGN shat all over it. So this is like one of the initial reviews that came out, but you'll also see Giant Bomb. We call it an awesome game and a terrible game at the same time. But it is one of the most polarized video games as far as ratings go. It has the Guinness Book of World Record for just being up and down all around on the scale. And Destructoid gave it 10 out of 10. Jim Sterling on Destructoid, gave it a 10 out of 10, where IGN and other sites would give it a 2. But then there's some websites like Gamma Sutra, which gave it like Game of the Year and whatnot. So honestly, just take it as it is. If you play the game, you either hate it or love it. There's
going to be no in between.
There's no in between.
Love it or hate it, right?
Love it or hate it.
This is not one of those in between games where I like it. You're gonna if you don't like the first 10 minutes, you're gonna hate the rest of the game.
Oh my god, the first 10 minutes are crazy. So yeah, I believe it's available for PC for only like $2 or something.
Well, I was on the Humble Bundle.
No. There's something active right now. We'll figure it out. We're gonna post some information on it, how to get it in the page itself.
And you guys are admins on the event, right?
Good to know. Yeah, so we'll get everyone familiar with that. That's going to be October 26th, Wednesday. Yeah.